Tom Dirato.
Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Eddie Sutton Show. And Eddie, I know the calendar says it's February, but after watching those wins over Oklahoma, Texas Tech, I'd say we might be smack dab in the middle of March Madness.
Well, I hope our team can continue to play like they are. You know, we defeated the Sooners 70-66, and then against Texas Tech, we went overtime, beat them 83-81. And in both those games, we didn't shoot the ball very well. 41% against Tech, 39% against Oklahoma. But we did some other things real well. We hit our free throws. We minimized our mistakes with the basketball. We had 10 turnovers in one game, 9 in the other. Our defense has gotten much better, and we out-rebounded both ball clubs. So when you're not shooting the ball well, you've got to really improve in some of the other areas, and we did that. And the one thing I'm really proud of this ball club, they are fierce competitors. You know, there were times in both those ball games they could have said, hey, it's not our night, but they hung in there and competed and elevated ourselves in a position where we won 5 in a row, as you mentioned, and got 3 games left in conference play and a chance to win the South.
Well, not only is that win streak, has it hit 5 in a row, Cowboys have won 7 of the last 8, continue to lead the Southern Division. We have highlights of a great week coming up when the Eddie Sutton Show continues in a moment. That's exactly the way I had John read it. I wrote it out that way, and he followed it to the letter.
Well, John had a great week, too. You know, they're ranked #1 in the country, and they went to Iowa City, and it's hard to beat the Hawkeyes in wrestling at Iowa. 13,000 fans cheering for the University of Iowa, and we beat them.
Well, let's turn our attention back to basketball. Now, Bedlam certainly lived up to its name in this fierce rivalry. The Cowboys won for the 8th time in the last 11 meetings.
Well, it was a wild affair last Saturday afternoon when we played the Sooners. It always is, but this game took on added significance in that by beating Oklahoma, we would go into a tie with them in the South Division.
Look at Pete just draining that. You know, there's a guy, you know, we talk about Brett, and rightfully so, which we will in this next game, but Pete quietly gets those baskets when you need them.
Well, he had 12 points, but the biggest thing, he had 9 rebounds. You know, we had 20 offensive rebounds. Oklahoma only had 4. And when you get that many more possessions than the other team, even when you're shooting poorly, you're going to, make up for, some of the things you aren't doing well.
Well, you forced a number of turnovers, more than Oklahoma was committing on the year. But as you said right after the game, the rebounding was really the key.
Great play there by Montonati, and we'll talk more about him. Gallagher drove in there, forced the defense to help, kicked it off Brett. He missed, and Montonati put it back in.
And look at this, pushing and shoving down low.
There's Chad hitting his only basket, but Chad has really played well off the bench for us during this stretch when we've won all these ball games. The guy right there is a tough player.
He can play, can't he? You go back-to-back against Brewer and Carr now, you have to bring a full day's work with you.
Well, I think they're the 2 best guards we have in the league. I think our guards are good, but, I'll be very surprised if they don't make first team all-conference. Brewer hit us for 28. Carr hit us for 33, so we didn't defend them very well. Great crowd, really helped us in pulling this victory off.
You're going to see, we feature the crowd a little bit in our off-the-court feature just a little later in the show. The atmosphere at Gallagher-Iba, it was electric.
Well, we had Desmond hit 11 points and 8 rebounds, Brett 19 points and 9 rebounds, and Joe came in with 13 points. Alexander had 7, Montonati had 8, so great balanced scoring again.
And you see 2 of Joe's points right there as he came in all alone and got it to fall.
This was a game of runs. Sometimes basketball games aren't that way, but boy, in this game, one team would run for a while and run 4 or 5 points off. In fact, I think they hit us for 14 straight points in this ball game.
You know, that's getting a little old, I think, in 2 games in a row. They hit us for 14, and Tech came out, hit us for 14 to open the second half. We got to get off that 14 here.
Yeah, I got to say a different halftime speech.
There's a nice alley-oop there.
Well, that's a set play that we run, and nice pass, nice finish.
The Cowboys were able to hang it. This was a game, really, another one, a battle of wills. Good that pass there.
Huh? A great pass. Doug had a wonderful week in as far as assists versus turnovers, but that's just a great pass to Pete, and he finishes the play. He had 9 assists and no turnovers against Tech, and in this ball game, I think he had 8 assists and only 4 turnovers. So 17 assists and only 4 turnovers against 2 quality opponents. That's excellent.
Brett has shown as a good run through right there, a slam. But I was going to talk about Brett. Brett's shown the ability the last half dozen games. You knew he had it, obviously. Maybe some people didn't. To step out and actually shoot that 15, 16-footer.
Well, he's worked hard on his shooting in other areas of the game as well. And, you know, Brett Robisch, when he came here from the University of Illinois, and you look at the film of how he was playing and now how he plays, it's really remarkable the progress that he's made.
There's a guy who's made great progress and who plays with tremendous excitement and intensity.
He likes to play, and when something good happens, well, he's going to display his emotion.
This is another one going down the stretch, and both teams played with a lot of poise, no question, and they didn't leave anything on the court.
Very seldom can you win a ball game when your opponent shoots 56%, but as I mentioned, they had 18 turnovers. We only had 9. We out-rebounded them 35-24, and we hit our free throws, and that was the difference.
Would they end up having just 4 offensive rebounds in the second game here this season?
And one of the strengths of Oklahoma is their rebounding ability. They usually out-rebound everyone, and I told our squad before the game, I said, the biggest key in the ball game, can we limit the number of second opportunities they have, and we did that.
You challenged Pete to come up with at least one more than he got down to Norman. He had 9.
Joe Atkins hit that free throw, and I think he's leading the Big 12 in
Yep.
percentage from the free throw line. He missed one down at Tech, so he may not be leading now, but he hit some big free throws in both ball games.
He had come into the Tech game having hit his last 11. What were you thinking coming down the stretch of this one here?
Look at this move. You know, Brian Montonati has been getting better and better and better, and he really played like a winner in this ball game. He gets Ryan Humphrey up in the air, goes around him, lays it up, and then the Sooners think that he's the guy they need to foul. Well, there's a heck of a shot over heavy pressure. And so they foul Brian, and he converts 4 out of 4. There's Pete. He came back, and
that was a big,
Brewer hit a big
basket
basket at the other end. Pete comes back and duplicates the tray.
Somehow, of course, not in the coaches' meetings, but somehow that got lost in some of the heroics that afternoon. But that was a big, big bucket.
Well, you missed that shot, and you may not recover.
Here we go right now. Here comes some of the real heroics from Brian Montonati. He's going to get a chance here soon.
Great effort by Brett Robisch to get the ball back in our court. Well, there's a foul. They fouled Chad. Well, I don't know.
They fouled Chad, but actually the foul on Brian away
That's
from
right.
the basketball came before
Yeah, they were
Chad.
chasing 2 or 3 players. I thought they fouled Joe Atkins in mid-court, and they fouled Chad, but they had called a foul down in the corner on one of the Oklahoma players.
As we watch this frantic finish, this might be a time where you can maybe give me and help clear it up for me. What's intentional, what's not intentional, especially when the clock's off?
Well, I talked to the supervisor officials, and normally you see an intentional foul called when a guy drives the basket, and instead of trying to block the shot, they wrap him up. But there can be an intentional foul off the ball. You know, if you're overplaying and just trying to guard too closely, that's not an intentional foul. But if you come up from behind and push a player where he can't see you coming, and then that is an intentional foul. But that's a judgment call.
And that's what happened there. They got Montonati away from the ball again, but he sank the 2 free throws, and they come right down to keep it a game with 13 seconds left.
Well, they're going to foul right here again.
They got Chad right there. So Chad's going to go to the free throw line. It sure helps to hit those charity tosses.
Well, we were 15 out of 22 in this game, and in the game at Tech, I think we were 22 out of 23. That's one area also that we've really improved. You know, the last 2 years we've not been a good free throw shooting team. And in fact, 2 years ago it kept us from going to the NCAA tournament, just our inability to hit the free pitches.
In conference play, we've been up around 72, 73% from there.
I think by beating Oklahoma, that was what we've beaten them 7 out of the last 11 times.
Actually, 8 out of the last 11, 11 out of the last 17.
And we swept them, and that doesn't happen too often in the series with Oklahoma. They don't sweep us, and we don't sweep them. And they've got an excellent basketball team, and I'll be surprised if they're not in the NCAA in March.
Well, Tech was next up for the Cowboys, and they worked overtime to pick up their second conference win in a row and third in the last 4 tries.
That was
Here's the
Desmond
man.
driving to the basket, and we jumped out on him right here early. Desmond kind of carried us offensively, hit some big shots. When he gets set up and he squares himself up, he's a good 3-point shooter.
You had control of this thing for the first.
Well, we had them down
15.
33-23, and I really thought we had a chance to go into halftime and with a double-figure lead, but we kind of got stagnant at the offensive end. Defensively, we let up a little with our intensity. There's Brett hitting 2 of his 33 points, but we got a real break just before halftime. They had pulled up, and we got the last shot, and Brewer did something that no coach wants a player to ever do. He fouled Chad Alexander trying to block a shot deep in the corner, and Chad hit all 3 free throws, which allowed us to get to halftime with a 39-32 lead.
And right before that, Mason hit a big 3 to stop a run for Tech as they were coming on, had really cut that deficit down, and we're only down by 3, but Mason restored a 6-point lead, as you said. Then Chad was able to get the 3 to go
Brewer
down
hitting
again.
2 of his 33. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't go real high in the NBA draft. I think he's a terrific basketball player.
Okay, Carr hit some unbelievable shots, unbelievable.
There's Brett following up on a missed shot and putting it back.
Coming down here, you got the impression that in the early going,
What's this right here?
little turnaround feed, and then he didn't even stop, did he? He just took it in stride and let it go.
You know, we were 7 out of 18 from three-point land. They were 11 out of 25, and we did a good job in the first half. They were only 3 out of 9, but in the second half they were 8 out of 16.
Well, you're in the second half right now, and you might want to hold on to your hat. You're going to see some shots here that you haven't seen in a while. You could tell Carr was getting ready to take the game into his hand in the second half.
We only had 8 points at halftime. We'd done a remarkable job on him, but in the second stanza, in the overtime period, he came alive. Boy, there's a great drive.
This is the drive that stopped that incredible run by Tech to start the second half. They came out and hit us with a 14-0 run to take a 46-39 lead, and that bucket was needed by Pete.
It certainly was. There's Brett hitting one of his 2 three-point shots. Good defense there. You know, we're third in scoring. A lot of times people think we don't run, but we like to run. We're averaging 81 points a game, and Kansas is leading the league with averaging 85, and I think Texas is averaging about 83. So we're third in conference in scoring.
Well, there were about 5 or 6 opportunities, and there's what you told them. Don't let him in the paint.
You don't want to let him get into the paint. He likes to drive in there, and he's so strong that he can just rise up over you or bump you a little bit and get you off balance. There's Brett hitting another
3.
He enhances his opportunity to play in the NBA when he shoots shots like that.
Brett put the ball up 26 times.
I don't think we've had anybody shoot the ball that many times since I've been at Oklahoma State. Great pass. That's a called play, and Pete lays it up. This is late in the ball game.
Brett
did not have a good shooting night. You know, he scored 33 points, but if he'd hit some of the shots he normally does, he'd hit 40.
Mason had 10 rebounds on the night, but he had about 3 or 4 at the most crucial points for us to get the ball.
Well, the other thing, Desmond, a lot of times will go in there and he can't get the rebound, but he'll back tap it out, and we'll get he told me last night coming on an airplane, he said they ought to give me at least a half a rebound on plays like that.
You want to watch this one again right here?
Watch this. Now, you can't,
well, we're getting down the stretch now, and Mason, talk about Desmond, he hit a couple of big free throws, but you're going to see one that you won't believe here.
Watch this shot right here. Now, you can't cover him better than this. Well, look at Corey Carr. Now, watch him. And that ties the game in regulation.
And the place is going nuts.
And a lot of people probably thought we're not going to come back. Because somebody hits a shot like that and you're on the road, that's tough to come back. But I told our guys, I said, hey, we're playing for the championship, and we got to get out to the next 5 minutes and compete, which they did.
Here he is, the man again, and he's back and forth, as you can see. But what's going to happen, right?
I think Brett gets fouled there.
Yeah.
They were mugging him pretty good in there at times. They were trying to keep the ball away from him, and I thought the officials, from that standpoint, did a pretty good job.
As Brett said, though, here's going to be one right off the glass that you don't count on.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, you know, when things are going right for you. But watch this. We come right back. This is a great pass and a nice shot, and he gets fouled, and now he goes to the line with a chance to tie the game at 81.
Yeah, that was a big play because they had that momentum right back again, but Brett took it away, and here we are again. Here's that big rebound, one of the three that I thought were just huge for Desmond in the game last night.
You know, one other thing that we're doing well, Tom, is that we're keeping the other ball club off the line. We ran a play there. There's the shove. You can clearly see.
See it again here. You'll know for sure.
We were trying to get the shot to either Brett or Pete, and they helped on the play. And Joe got the great shot, got a great look, and just missed it. And Brett would have got a putback because he had inside position, and Corey pushed him. I think that's the first time Carr's fouled out. I don't know whether in his career.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking.
Here comes the last shot as Doug blocks Bonowitz in the corner. You're going to see it again.
Yeah, Doug's a little excited there.
I would hope.
You got to be careful doing that, though. If you go into the guy, you can call a foul on you. We tell our guys to challenge a shot on the perimeter, but don't be trying to block him. And I think Doug, the guy just shot the ball right into his hand.
What an exciting night. Those kids were really excited in the dressing room.
Well, they should be. I mean, two big wins. We beat the University of Oklahoma, and you beat Texas Tech, both quality ball clubs, and now we're 19-4, and better yet, we're 9-4 conference play.
Well, Bedlam and Gallagher-Iba Arena doesn't get much better than that. We'll explain on this week's Off the Court feature. Stay with us. The Eddie Sutton Show continues in a moment. Welcome back. You know, fans, players, coaches alike, they had a week to prepare for this year's Bedlam rematch at Gallagher-Iba Arena, and it was obvious from the outset the Cowboys were ready to go.
Alexander top of the key. Chad to Robisch. Brett from three. Oh, he got it! Brett's on fire. I mean, Brett's feeling it. Chad drives the right side of the lane, back out front. Atkins from three, got it again! That's the shot right there. Oklahoma wants a timeout! I'd rather make that Johnson in the front court. Throws it away. It's stolen by Mason. Desmond slams it home. What a slam! Cowboy defense outside is absolutely impeccable. Sampson wants another 20. To Montonati. Oh my shot goes up for a finger roll and scores. He put it on the floor, got the man in the air, and took it home. My. Joe out front to Alexander, 15 seconds on the shot clock to Peterson. He fires from three. Got it! Oh, big answer basket there. The Cowboys have won it again. What a game, 70-66. The Cowboys victorious.
You and Wade have done some great pieces, but that's really a wonderful feature. And of course, Wade is the one that directs this TV show.
He's the one that makes it all go.
You know, they call it Bedlam series, and it's in all sports when the University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State get together. But it's always such a fierce game, and sometimes I think our fans get too excited about it. But you know, you're playing for so much for the student body, the faculty, your alums, your fans, for bragging rights. And you know, this year we can really brag because our football team won, our women's basketball team won, our wrestling team was won twice, and we swept them in basketball. So the University of Oklahoma has yet to beat the Cowboys, and that doesn't happen very often.
Well, another key road test is coming up. We'll take a look at that when we come back. Don't go away. Well, welcome back, and another tough test Saturday night in Manhattan.
Well, K-State's got a good basketball team. They're 15-8 overall. They're 6-7. They got a chance to finish in the first division, so it's going to be a tough game. They're also, I think, inducting Tex Winter, one of the great coaches of all time, into their Hall of Fame. And there you can see the standings. And then next Tuesday we host Texas here in Stillwater.
Well, thanks for being with us this week. For Eddie Sutton and our entire crew here at Educational Television Services, Tom Dirato, goodbye, everybody.